Guys, I've been getting a lot of questions from internationals, and I'm going to be talking about a lot of things that is happening with this jackpot thing. All right. Yes, I understand most of us we want to migrate abroad, and a lot of people do not understand the concept. And most people, if you look at it critically, you will see that most people do not know how to navigate themselves around, especially with websites. Now, let me talk about some things you need to put into consideration. Remember, if you want to study abroad, if you want to travel abroad, the study pathway is always the easiest because you are going to be applying either for a visa, a student visa, a national D type visa, or a residence permit to immigrate to any country abroad as an international student. I'm saying so because some countries like Germany, you are going to be using a national visa. If you really want to move abroad, please listen to this video keenly what is happening to the camera so that you know what you are doing, because I keep getting a lot of complaints from people. First, let me begin with those of you who are moving to Northern Cyprus. Northern Cyprus is a country located in the Mediterranean Sea, south of Turkey and east of Greece. If you are going to Cyprus, know that there are two types, North and South. North Cyprus is not connected to Europe. South Cyprus is connected to Europe. You cannot leave North Cyprus as an international student and cross the border to South Cyprus legally. It is so difficult. Please do not risk it. When you are studying in North Cyprus, the best way for you to do is to move back home and apply for another visa to a different Schengen country. Because if you say you want to move to South Cyprus or Turkey to apply for another visa to another country, it will be very difficult. Most embassies in North Cyprus will not give you a student permit to Europe. Please put this into consideration. This is just an advice I want to give to you. Now, those of us who wants to immigrate to Canada and we are complaining that we do not have enough money. Look, IRCC or the Canadian government or the visa officer is not going to be looking at it this way. They do not understand the language the common man speaks, like you and me. You may be telling me that you don't have money, but visas doesn't work on sentiments. You need to have the required documents. You need to have the required amounts of money, and you need to document everything well and proper in order to get a visa to a particular country. So if you have less than 5 million, don't look at Canada. If your proof of funds is going to come from that 5 million, if your proof of funds is going to come from you, the reason is because you cannot be showing the Canadian government that. By the way, I don't know of any school in Canada which is 5 million CFA francs, except that you are going for a fully funded scholarship, which most of the time may not even be fully funded, like the scholarship may not be full funding. Now, I have said it times and again, if you have 5 million and your proof of funds is coming from somebody, you are good to go. Excellent. You just need to take the proof of funds from the person, take the other necessary documents, add yours, you apply, and if your visa is granted, you carry your millions in your pocket, you move to Canada, look for accommodation, put down your head, register in school, pay first installment, you start classes, and you look for a job and you start hustling. This is how it goes. But even if you have 6 million, 7, 8 million, and you still don't have somebody to give you proof of funds, you are still in trouble. Now, I do not know the method you want to use. I do not know who you want to use, but there are videos on this YouTube channel to guide each and everyone on every stage of the process. As an international student in Canada, you are guaranteed 20 hours to work. But if you use a visitor's visa, first, there is no guarantee that you are going to get it early. I have people who applied more than 1 year ago. They are still waiting. I'm just making this video to clear the air because a lot of questions come from international students, and please look at it very well. Look at it and listen to what I'm saying. Visitor visa may take even a year. That is not a problem. But if you use the visitor's visa and you move to Canada, how do you intend to work? You cannot work with a visitor visa. No employer will employ you except you change the visa to a working permit, and to change it there are still clauses attached to it. You need to go left, go right, look for this, get an employer. First, employers do not recruit people they don't need. They need to see that you have the qualities they need. You need to prove to them that you have the qualities before they can employ you, and when they employ you, they are going to give you all legal papers for visa application. Again, do not pay money to anybody claiming to give you what I don't even understand. Some people say they call it LMIA. Yes, you need the LMIA, but is it that when you apply for a job, you have to pay for LMIA? It is not paid by you. If your employer finds interest in you, they are going to give you LMIA. They will pay for it, apply for it, and give it to you. Don't fall for the tricks. A lot of digital workers are found on most of these job websites like Job Bank and all the rest. You will find all these guys, fake people everywhere. So you have to be careful. This is Canada we are looking at. And again, if you are 36 years and above, I always say it, go to Atlantic Canada, because when you study, and choose a 1-year program and maximum 2 years program, so you don't waste time in school, because the end product here is the permanent residence, and age is a factor for you to get permanent resident, because you are trying to maximize your scores in the pool to get selected. So please listen to this advice and make sure you go to Atlantic Canada, Saskatchewan, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, British Columbia, Manitoba. These are the places, but in terms of population, Manitoba, Saskatchewan comes first. So you have to put this into consideration, because if you do not put this into consideration, it's going to affect you when you are trying to target the PR, which is the permanent residence. And the permanent residence is the key factor here to get to a citizenship. Please listen to me. Those who are saying that they want to apply for colleges in Canada, Milton, is it advisable for me to take a college which does not offer postgraduate work permit? If you are taking such a college, then you have to get ready for the stress involved, because trust me, I'm not going to maybe get a direct postgraduate work permit. You need to do what is called LMIA. Look for an employer who is going to employ you and give you the LMIA, that's the labor market impact assessment, before you can apply for a job. Or sometimes it's complicated, a lot of complications are involved in this case. So I always advise you get a school that is going to grant you PGWP after you finish. They are found on IRCC, so you can always check all of this. Now, another thing you need to know is that when it comes to Europe, most countries in Europe have their own procedures. If you want to immigrate to Austria, you should be ready to do legalization and verification of your documents so as to apply for schools, because these schools, they are going to give you admissions, and then you have to apply for visa. You have to apply for visa, and your documents have to be legalized. So legalizing them before applying is a great advantage for you. And remember, your money for proof of funds have to be in your personal bank account, and it has to be at least 12,500 euros before you can apply for the visa. There are videos on this YouTube channel for the residence permit. There are videos here. Please verify all of them, and you know what you are doing. Now, another country like Finland equally needs you to have the money in your bank account. But is it like 12,000 euros for Austria? No. Finland needs you to show that you have 6,720 euros. That's almost half the money Austria is asking. But does it mean that maybe Finland is better than Austria? No. All the same, they are almost the same. They may not be the same, but it depends on what you yourself as the applicant you are looking at. So I will always advise that take note of the money you have, look at the country you want to go, make a decision before you carry on, because it is not going to be easy. I must tell you that it is not going to be easy. So make your decision as early as possible and plan before you execute. Another country like Slovakia needs you to have at least 5,000 and 5,100 euros in your bank account. The reason is because this money, they don't want it. Your parents cannot support you like in Canada. Your brother cannot support you. It must be in your account. Now, this account, the money is in, you have to create that account and make sure it is 3 months older. Do not use an account that is less in age as 2 months, 2.5. No, get an account. Make sure you create the account now, so that before you apply for visa, it should be 3 months and above, or even 4 or 5 or 6 months. All right, the better, the earlier, the better. They are going to realize that you have finally changed, especially for those who already applied for visas and their visas were rejected because of proof of funds. Sometimes you have to sit down and reflect. A lot of people apply for visas without checking the embassy's website. Now, I'm giving you the information because I have the information and I know where it is. If you ask me now, I will just go there and take it. And for you guys watching, I'm going to drop it in the video description box. Please always check requirements before visa application. Other countries like Lithuania is possible. With 5,040 euros, you are good to go. Places like Latvia, you need just 5,000 euros. Places like Estonia, you need at least 6,500 euros, and so on. But remember, to apply to Estonia, to colleges in Estonia, you need to pay tuition deposit. Then Austria as well, Lithuania, Latvia, all of them, especially the Baltic countries, which are Estonia, Lithuania, and Latvia, you need to pay tuition deposit. Now, if you do not pay the tuition deposit after admissions, how do you proceed to visa applications? It's not possible. That's why someone was telling me that he does not have money to pay for the offer letter. I was like, why did you even choose the program in the first place when you don't have a sponsor, you don't have money to pay all these things? How do you intend to apply for visa? So these are some of the things that you need to know. It is very important for you to know what you want to do at what particular time so that you prepare and plan towards that. Very important. Now, for those who are asking me about admissions in Europe, Europe is going to open its door around November, December, which is this month I'm talking about. Now, most admissions are open in France and January will be closed. So if you want to study in France, you have to open your eyes and look at things deeply from a deeper point, okay? Remember, I said to study in France, you have to go through Campus France. Without going through Campus France, it will be difficult for you. So you need to create an account on the Campus France website. This is very important and key information I'm giving you. Another thing is you have to consider that to apply for most of these visas as a Cameroonian, you have to go to Nigeria. Most embassies are not in Cameroon. So put all this into consideration. Look at your money, look at the plan, and look at your future ambitions before you move. Avoid issues like, let me just go to maybe Belarus, then from there I will cross to Europe. You would notice that you have almost 2 years, 3 years, 4 years in that particular country. I'm not refusing that you shouldn't go, but I have a video on this channel I did, and I said, if you want to go to Belarus before moving to another country, go straight to that country and avoid Belarus. I'm not saying it is a bad place. Belarus is a good place, but I have my reasons which I cannot disclose here.